the Deputy Consul-General Renato N. Duenas Jr., Vice Consul Elizabeth B. Ramos, Vice Consul Aleah Marie B. Gica.
The character. To speak then about the people's Consul-General, to speak then about Consul-General Paul Raymund Cortes, tonight is a privilege. When we were writing this tribute, we were indecisive as to its title. Ernest Hemingway, who once wrote that the best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks. In character, the warmest round of applause.
As well as his message to the Filipino leaders and community in Dubai and the Northern Emirates.
I feel most of the time. And yes, Dr. Rex pointed out the imperfection that I feel every single time when I cannot heed the response, heed the questions, heed the pleas of some of our kababayans and our overseas Filipinos. One of the things that I had learned when I first came here 6 years ago was that for right or for wrong, I needed to play the role of the Redeemer, the Savior of our overseas Filipinos. Most of them would ask for help, request assistance, plead for something to help them in whatever way possible, and they look at the consulate as the one that would give the affirmation. But the truth is, we cannot all the time. We have very limited resources, very finite management resources that we could dish out to every Filipino. Imagine all 800,000 is something really difficult to serve. But much as we could do is to listen, as Dr. Rex had said, to what they wanted, to what they hoped, to their dreams and to their visions of what they should be as a Filipino community away from the country, working for their families and their welfare back home. And this is something that I saw was very necessary in trying to liaise and partner with the Filipino community. For a lot of people, the consulate is the only place that they can go to when they have issues. And as such, they think that the consulate is the only is filled with places with things that reek of despair and helplessness and hopelessness. But I figured that perhaps the ones that will come to the consulate and seek for assistance is only a small fraction compared to the rest of the population of the overseas Filipinos. Which is why I said maybe what we should do is to highlight beautiful stories from the Filipino community so that the rest could know and listen about it and thereby be inspired themselves. And this is how we came about with Dakilang Bayani. Dakilang Bayani is not meant to massage and to boost somebody else's egos, but to make other people realize that there are beautiful, successful, and affirmative stories that needed to be heard. Some stories that needed to be magnified and amplified so that the rest of the Filipino community will understand that, yes, the Filipino has a wonderful story to tell in the UAE, and we should shout it out to the whole world, not only to our fellow Filipinos, but for the rest of the UAE community as well. And this is the essence of Dakilang Bayani. This award, this evening, we had hope that we could share it with some of our ASEAN colleagues. And yes, we have Consul-General Chandra and his wife Amy here tonight. I can please give them a round of applause. Because we wanted to share how the Filipino community is faring in this part of the world. And like Indonesia, the Philippines has a lot of overseas a lot of its nationals overseas trying to eke out a living as well for their families back home. Indonesia is our big brother in ASEAN. We share so much with the Indonesians, their culture, the language, the looks, the height. And this is something that we know the Indonesians would also appreciate when they see us happy, congratulating ourselves, because we want to inspire other people as well. And hopefully we have that sort of impetus to likewise get the other overseas communities to recognize their own as well, because they deserve to be congratulated and they deserve to be heard as well. So at the end of 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you probably think that, you know, I'm raring to go home. But at the end, towards the end of my tour of duty, I look back and realize whether the service that I've done for the country actually is beneficial to a lot of you, to all of you. But also, because my wife and I talked about this, if at the end of my tour of duty, my children would say that, Dad, I think you did a very good job, and perhaps they themselves would see that maybe they could do a similar thing in whatever field they choose to be, then I'm the most happiest person I could ever be. So again, thank you very, very much.
To our Consul-General Raymund for the resounding and beyond compare accomplishments all throughout the year.
It becomes very difficult to be objective at that, and it becomes laden with second thoughts, sometimes controversies. But because we have 4 very respected individuals from the Filipino community judging and understanding and dissecting the criteria and how these applies to all those who have been chosen as the finalists and even the applicants, the Dakilang Bayani Awards have become very respected, trustworthy as far as the Filipino is concerned, and of course, maramay, as they would put it. So I'd like to give thanks for the past 5 years. These 4 individuals have helped out choosing the Dakilang Bayani Awards. And not only do they help out choose the Dakilang Bayani Awards for this year, they've also been wonderful educators teaching our young, teaching the second generation Filipinos what it is to become a Filipino of the global world. So again, congratulations, and I'd like to call on Dr. Rex Bacarra, Dr. Rommel, Dr. Lebig, and Dr. Nino.
We didn't know this.
Round of applause for Dr. Rex. Dr. Lebig, Jr.
That's the most known.
And Dr. Rommel, Sergio.